Let's look at this issue of Fulani Militias in Nigeria retrospectively, because I've always maintained that the North is a problem of this country. But let's look at this in the light of what came from someone in the past, talking about how Fulani Militias came into Nigeria. Let me quickly take a look at what is coming from Business Daily. He said how we brought in Fulani Militias from Mali, Sierra Leone, Senegal, others to win 2015 election. Kawu Baraje. You go further to say that revelations have started to be made on how Nigeria got itself into the current high level of insecurity in the country. Abubakar Kawu Baraje, a former chieftain of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, on Monday, traced the origin of the current insecurity in the country to the influence of Fulani from neighboring countries like Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, Niger, and Chad, brought into the country for election purposes in 2015. He go further to say that he said this in Ilorin as part of activities to mark his 70th birthday anniversary. But at this point, in case you are wondering why I'm taking this route, let me allow you to listen to this thing that happened in the past. Of course, how it was alleged that the government of Buhari then paid over 100 billion to militia to stop killing for a period of 2 years. So it got to show that militia have more to tell Nigerians. Maybe the president should beam his satellite more on militia. Let us watch this and as we come back to further this conversation.
The federal government, led by the Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazo, met with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State, offering them the sum of 100 billion naira over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting lasted over 4 hours on Friday as negotiations dragged on, with the association initially asking for 160 billion naira. The minister said that the strategy was part of the steps needed to tackle insecurity in the country as prescribed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The headsman crisis has risen since 2015 after Muhammadu Buhari became president. Their rampage has spread not only in the north but also throughout the southern zones of the country. The killings by the headsmen has led them to be tagged the fourth most dangerous and deadly terrorist group in the world by the World Terror Index. The acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, who was also at the meeting in Kebbi State, added that over 1,000 people have been killed and many more kidnapped in Kaduna. However, he said that this intervention was necessary to bring the criminals to book. The Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu said hosting the meeting in his state shows the seriousness of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in tackling the security challenges in the country. Responding, the president of the association, Alhaji Muhammad Kirua, said the meeting would serve as a foundation for peace between the Fulani headsmen and farmers and among Fulanis themselves.
So I think it's now becoming very clear how we all got into this situation. That is why the president should get more should ask the Fulani Militias to know what happened when it comes to this insecurity. And I believe that the militia must answer so many questions regarding this issue of insecurity. Because from the conversation that came from that Barije, it is very clear that the purpose of bringing the Fulani Militias was for the purpose of 2015 election. And that after the 2015 election, they refuse to go back to where they came from. They now become a problem for everybody. And currently, the activities is no longer restricted to the northern part of the country. They are now in the southern part of the country and everywhere. Kidnapping, maiming, raping, and all of that. But again, listen to this man that claimed to have some level of intelligence. What he have to say about Fulani Militias. For you to know that we are in for a bigger trouble. Listen as we come back to further this conversation.
Let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. 1 or 2 who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria. Don't joke with what I'm saying. I have a PhD from Oxford University. I'm a central banker. We don't talk nonsense. So don't joke with what I'm telling you. I have this from the highest possible authority, higher authorities of some of the commanders of the killers and Boko Haram.
You said northern governors, past or present, Dr. Badaya?
No, current. No, they said one of them is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria.
So you got to show that actually we are in for a very serious issue. And we need a president that is determined to solve this problem. Because the way it is already evident that those that brought them for a purpose. And they already find this place as comfortable, because hence it is easier for them to kidnap, because we can clearly see militias in some videos where they display cash that runs into millions of naira, of course, which is a direct money they often receive from Nigerians. But again, let me quickly bring this issue of the amount of money that was used by Nigerians to pay ransom within a specified period of time. Just like I was saying, this is from Vanguard newspaper. It says Nigerians paid 2.3 trillion in ransom over 12 months. NBC, that is National Bureau of Statistics. This is from a government agency. It says Nigerians paid a staggering 2.3 trillion in ransom over a 12-month period, according to a report released by the National Bureau of Statistics on Tuesday. The figure drawn from the 2024 Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey underscores the financial toll of crimes in the country. The government said that the survey covering May 2023 to April 2024 revealed that 65% of households impacted by kidnappings paid ransom, averaging 2.67 million per incident. The question here is, it is very lucrative that the issue of kidnapping is very lucrative. So you're going to show that if the government is not serious to fight it, the issue will not stop. If those who are involved in kidnapping could rake in 2.3 trillion naira within the space of 12 months, you could imagine what is happening. So you're going to show that the only way it can be addressed is for the government to take decisive action. I've always maintained that the government, as a matter of urgency and necessity, must possess monopoly of currency power, and that this is the best time to address this. Because if this is the reason they're even fighting to make sure that a northerner come back to power, I think the South must resist it. Because the way it is, we need to get rid of the Fulani Militias. And again, there's every need to rejig the security architecture. I think state police is the way to go. But if the state police is not forthcoming, the forest guard initiative of federal government must be expedited. Because life is sacrosanct. And as we have it, life is being wasted on every day. Considering the nefarious activities of the likes of Toji Bello or the likes of Ada Aleru, and of course, and for obvious reasons, the Buhari that reportedly, allegedly brought them into the country is no longer in the scene, and the problem is left behind for the country, for the government to solve. So, as it stands, let us have the issue of security architecture reject. The state governors must, as a matter of urgency and necessity, commence the process of getting locals involved in that forest guard as quickly as possible. I think the issue of the forest guard need expedited action. Then again, the locals must be integrated into it, because the locals are the ones that have the intelligence to fight this level of insecurity. Just as the statement that came from the Director General of DSS, talking about Ajayi, that the locals should be the first line of defense in case of invasion. I think is the way to go, because the way it is, life have no value anymore in the country. As you can clearly see, instances where people will be disallowed and they will be videoed. So for me, we need to resolve this issue of Fulani Militias as quickly as possible, so that Nigerians can heave a sigh of relief. Let me say very big thank you for your time. This is Mr. Watch.